Hello and welcome back. I'm Lisa.
And I'm Erin.
And this is the Getaways Podcast. How many ways do you think I can say Getaways Podcast?
Well,
I can emphasize all sorts of different syllables in it. The Getaways.
I'm going to keep this in there.
Anyway.
So summer has come to the Netherlands for 3 days only, but I don't like it.
Kind of 2.5 because we only had one half day on Thursday of heat.
I laugh at us now because coming from Italy in the summer and from California, it's 80 and I'm dying. I think it's way too hot.
Well, the thing about the Netherlands, which is different than Italy, is that it's so abnormal and it's so humid. You just walk around glistening with just a layer of sweat on you all the time. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad in the house because you don't really need air conditioning in the Netherlands. So there's not a lot. We don't have air conditioning. Right. It's only a problem, maybe 5 days a year? But I don't glisten. I just look like I just stepped out of the shower and it's not cute. And it's not cute at all.
But it's 80 degrees. That's 28 to my fellow Europeans. I'm not a European, but to everybody but Americans, it's 28 degrees. To my fellow Americans, it's 80 and I'm dying.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about somewhere that is really hot.
This is our last summer beach podcast for the season. I'm kind of sad.
For the season, but I'm sure we will have more to come next season. All right, head to Puglia today. Puglia is the heel of the boot of Italy. On one side, you've got the Adriatic Sea, and on the other side, you've got the Ionian Sea. It's a special place. Like, there's nowhere we've been in Puglia where we would I don't think I'll go. I would want to go back there.
No. So we'll talk about all the places we've been. We are leaving in a month to go back to Puglia for the summer, and we're going to the furthest south you can go on the heel. So we didn't do that before.
Which is what's been recommended to us by Italians.
Yes.
Isn't that where Claudia told us
Claudia
to go?
goes, we're not going quite as far as she does, but we're going to Otranto to start, which is really, it's down at the very, very bottom.
But we'll save that for next season.
Yes. We're going to have a lot of part twos.
All right. So let's dive in. So we've been there twice so far.
Yes.
And the first time we were based
in Torre San Giovanni.
Which I loved that town. I loved this.
Salento, right?
Yeah.
Salento.
Yeah. But it's a tiny little town.
Tiny town.
But it has a great place where it looks out on the water and there's tons of restaurants. We had great dinners there.
Yeah. They have in the summer, because it's a beach town, they have a little fair set up all summer long for the kids. We had a favorite pizza place.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I know I got bored there for a minute.
Yeah. Well, so where our Airbnb was kind of in between where the town was and the beach. But we could walk to the beach in
less than 5 minutes. Yeah.
And the beach is huge. The sand is really wide and it is shallow forever.
And lots of places for public people to lay out their towels, but also lots of serviced beaches because it was long.
It was really long
and wide and shallow for a long time. And it was probably the first time we really experienced the turquoise aquamarine, clear water. Because it was our first, we went to the Amalfi Coast, but it's different.
Yeah. The beaches are very different.
Because there's sand in Puglia. Yeah. And we're sand people, I think. Well, you're not.
I just like the water.
Yeah.
But you can walk out so far and you'll be knee deep.
Yeah.
And I think we've talked about this before, but a lot of people just do that and then play games or talk to their friends and whatever. But if you go past there, you basically have the sea to yourself, but you have to go far.
Yeah. No, it's beautiful. So let's talk about our Airbnb because it's still, you can still rent it. So it's little almost townhouses, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Stacked townhouses or duplexes because we were on the bottom floor and then somebody was above us and it was stacked that way all the way across.
Yeah. So, and I think it's pretty standard that you can get a townhousey kind of place where you have a little bit of everything, where you've got a little bit of a yard. We had a washer, outdoor shower and super close to the beach for not a lot of money.
I'm going to put it on the website, but maybe $120.
Yeah.
A night?
Yeah. So very affordable. And like I said, you could walk to the town from there where there was a great fish market where we used to go and get all of our mussels and clams and calamari for seafood pasta. And and then, like I said, the whole area where restaurants was sort of on this big like platform. And then down below there, they had all those pools, remember?
Yeah.
Like when the tide would come in, there were like these little natural pools. And it was like having your own little jacuzzi, basically. And like we sat in there one night. It was really, really nice.
I will say that we booked it for 10 nights, I believe. We spent 3 nights away because we spent one night in Naples. And then we decided, and thank goodness, we decided to take a side trip on the way back to Puglia from Naples. And we stopped at Matera, which we're going to get into on a whole nother episode. But that's why we were gone for 3 days. So we really only spent probably 7 days at this. This is before we learned about taking 4 and 5 week vacations.
Well, and it was also before we realized that the whole point is to not be busy every second.
Yeah.
That we can do stuff and walk around without and like then take a nap.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I loved that area.
We didn't venture far from that area when we were there. We did go to, I don't know where the stressor goes, but we went to Gallipoli, which was a really cute town.
Yep.
And Dylan got those fish slides.
Those creepy fish slides.
It looks like he stuck his foot in a fish and his toes came out the mouth.
Yeah, and they squeaked every time he took a step. They were great. Really weird. But there's tons of little towns like all around that whole area, and all have great food, all have great beaches.
What I will say, because if you know me, grocery stores are important to me. This was the first time we really went to a beach other than the Amalfi Coast, and I encountered what like small beach town grocery stores were.
Which I love.
I did not like it.
Yeah. Before we go any further, I'm just going to make a general comment on dogs in the south of Europe. And that is, if you bring your dog anywhere on the southern beaches, whether it's in France or in Italy, I'm sure Greece, it's the same. And Croatia. Did I do ever come in Croatia? I don't think I did. But anyway, Leishmania is a sand flea, and it is deadly to dogs, and it's a very slow and brutal killer. So if you take your dog, make sure that you can get a shot for it, but vets don't always agree whether or not that's efficient. But Cash did the shot. Rex wears NexGard, Spectra internally, and then he has to wear a flea collar in addition in the summer when we're at the beach, just to completely safeguard him. Word to the wise, you definitely want to be aware of that if you are traveling with your dog. All right, back to the fun stuff.
Okay. So that was basically our first experience in Puglia.
I got the pizza with Burrata all the time there because Burrata is from Puglia.
Burrata is from Puglia.
And we'll talk about that more in a minute. But anytime you're anywhere in Puglia, eat the Burrata.
All right, so we went on our second time. We went to Puglia in 2021.
And we stayed on an Airbnb in Polignano, Mare. And it is just a really beautiful town on the sea, obviously. And it's got probably one of the most famous beaches in Puglia.
It does.
It's
called Lama Monachile.
And that's the beach it's a tiny little beach, but it's surrounded by cliffs. And the water is, you can see pictures on the internet of sort of up and above so that you can see it from the sea level.
Because the town is on one side of it, on top of the cliff.
Uh-huh. And there's a little walkway that you can, on one side, where you can kind of get a bird's eye view of it. And it's just stunning. And then there's a little like restaurant and service area off to the side, but most people just go and put their towels down. So completely beautiful. We didn't spend a ton of time there because it is crowded, but we definitely, when we did go, we went and sort of out past so that we were a little past the crowds. Certainly something to see. And then the best part was the cliff jumping.
Yeah, Dylan loves jumping off the cliffs there. He wasn't the strongest swimmer at that point, so he's wearing a little floaty ring around him the whole time.
That was like the tiniest floaty ring, and he crammed himself in it so he could jump.
And he was the youngest kid up there, but all the people were so kind to him, and they let him go, but he loved it. He had the best time.
Yeah. But my favorite thing about that stop was the food.
Oh, the food was good. The food was good.
2 of my favorite things are there. One is the octopus sandwich.
From Pescaria,
which is right kind of in the like main square of the city. Mm-hmm. And then the other is the coffee.
At Bar Turismo was the bar, and it's called, what is Cafe Special? Is that what it's called?
Speciale, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
But it's espresso and
amaretto.
And that's it?
And cream.
I think, yeah. But you guys, it's life-changing coffee. Like, we would want to get them like 5 times a day. And I'm only a morning coffee drinker, but I would think about it all day long. It was so unbelievably delicious.
We will for sure be stopping there on our way down.
Yeah. We went on a boat trip with Katie too, didn't we?
Yeah, we've done 2 boat trips out of there, which are lovely. They take us into some caves. You get to drive by there's a famous restaurant. I don't know what it's called.
Grotta Palazzese. Which is funny because it's all over Instagram. And when we saw it, it's as stunning as the pictures, like, if not more. But we got a word to the wise that that's not the best place to eat.
No, apparently the food's not great and they charge you an arm and a leg.
Yeah. So we haven't been there, so we can't say firsthand, but that's the rumor. But the other thing about that area, I guess all of Puglia, but they have really, really, really great markets. And you can get, there's just people out on the street selling food. And then there's goods too. You got sunglasses there.
I got the best sunglasses.
And then they have the taralelli.
Oh, yeah.
The ring crackers.
They're like thick and round.
Yeah.
You can stick your little tiny finger in them.
And and crispy. They're very cracker consistency. Yeah. And they're everywhere. And they come in all different flavors. Like you could have garlic or onion or, like whatever.
They're good.
Yeah. And
you need something to drink with them, though, because they stick to the roof of your mouth.
Well, and I would say a cheese with them.
Yeah.
Probably like a hard cheese. Yeah. But they're really good and really worth checking out.
Definitely.
All right. So other areas that we've been, we got to talk about the trullis, right?
So yeah, well, we went to 2 towns that had trullis. Uh-huh. We stayed in a trulli in Locorotondo, I believe is what it's called, and that town is super cute,
really
small. Cute. But remember, there was a wedding going on when we were there,
yeah.
And it's Ostuni is called the White City, but Locorotondo is a white city too.
I think even more maybe.
Yeah. I mean, everything is white.
Yeah.
It was so cool. It was just so, and it's small, but we found a great pizza place upstairs.
Great pizza place where you had to it felt like you were walking into somebody's house and then you went upstairs and there was a big patio and there was like laundry hanging behind you. But I mean, it was really, really good food and felt very authentic and cool.
All of these restaurants and experiences will be up on the website, so don't fear. But yeah, there was a wedding going on. And so we were like, and the streets are narrow. So we were kind of like maneuvering around wedding. Yeah. No
cars. It's all walking, which is how it stays white, I guess. And also just like pristine.
Yeah. So clean and no tourists. I didn't feel like there were any tourists. So that is one of the towns that right outside is a village of trullis. And I'll let you explain what a trulla.
A trulla is, okay, so trulla would be the individual and trulli would be like multiple. But they were originally built, I don't even remember where we learned this, but they were originally built, they're built out of bricks, which is kind of unusual. But they were done out of bricks so that they could be taken apart and moved when they needed to. And they're usually round, at least most of it. And then they have sort of a peaked roof on top of the round,
like a cone.
Yeah. So architecturally they're really interesting,
and the roof just pops right off.
Yeah, the roof, it's all movable,
because if you don't have a roof on it, you don't get charged taxes, right? So they would just take off their roof.
Oh, I don't remember that part.
I'll figure out the story and put it on there, because
I think she just made that up.
I might have. I like it.
But I thought it was originally farmers that were moving with the crops.
Oh, and I thought it was taxes.
Okay, well, it's probably I'm probably right, but we can confirm that.
I'll put it on the website and it will say who's right.
But they're really, really cool and interesting. And they're kind of out of the city a little bit. But there's little bunches of them.
There are. And because they're circular, it's not like there's tons of windows. They stay very cool on the inside. It's almost like sleeping in a cave.
Well, and again, all white.
Yeah. And so we stayed in a village, like a whole community of trullis, and we had a pool. Uh-huh. The pool was for the whole thing, but nobody was ever there.
No.
We stayed just one night, I think. 2 nights.
2 nights, I think.
Yeah. I loved it.
Yeah, no, it was really nice. And it was great for the dog, too, because there's plenty of places to walk. The property was big and farmy, so, it's nice.
So I would say if you were wanting to go and not spend on the upper side for a trulli, go to Locorotondo, because it's less touristy, less known. But the big tourist famous place is called Alberobello. Right?
And that's like UNESCO, that's the place that everyone thinks of when they think of trullis.
And there's trullis. It's a great town. It's a lot bigger.
It's very touristy, but there's a reason for that. And that's because it's incredibly charming. And it's a really good place for pictures, for shopping, and for eating.
Yeah, I agree. Then another place you have to go is Ostuni. That's the White City.
That's considered the White City, yeah. And it is very, very steep, but again, really cool city, a lot bigger.
It's a lot bigger.
Yeah.
But not big, but it's a lot bigger than the other places we've been talking about.
Yeah, because we thought we had seen it all. And then I walked down this little hill and like there was a whole huge, big shopping area and food area.
Yeah. It's great. It's great. And down the hill, probably a 20-minute drive from Ostuni, because Ostuni's on a mountain almost, is at the beach for Ostuni.
Which is beautiful.
It's a great beach.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic beach. So I would definitely suggest that as well.
Yeah. You definitely need a car in these areas.
100%. I don't even think trains go into Puglia, do they?
Well, I'm sure something does, like
or
in
maybe
the Bari.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you definitely need a car here. And like even the beach is right down the hill from Ostuni, but there's no way without a car.
Now, just because we've taken a lot of trips and I can't remember everyone, did we do any wine tastings in Puglia?
I don't think so.
We're going to have to do that this summer.
Yeah.
But you know what we did do? It wasn't a wine tasting.
No. Well, you guys did more than I did. But yes, it was tasting indeed.
A lot of tasting. It was a Burrata cheese farm. So it was like the cows were there and then the cheese factory. It's not a factory. It's a big giant room. But it was so good. Like we did the whole tour of the farm and then Dylan, Katie and I went in. We had Rex with us. So Lisa just stayed outside and tried to find shade because it was balls hot. And we went in and we got to see how they made burrata. We got to taste the burrata inside. And then the best part of the whole tour was...
They called it a tasting, but it was not just a tasting.
It was a meal for 7 days.
They brought us trays and trays and trays and trays of food, mostly cheese.
A lot of charcuterie stuff.
But yeah, there was also some meats and breads and the crackers.
And wine.
And wine. And
they had to roll me out. I got so sick I ate so much cheese.
I mean, it was, but don't think of that as a bad thing because she enjoyed every second of it. It was just hard to stop because it was so good and so fresh. And it was like €50 a person.
It was nothing. I'll put that on the site because that I recommend to everybody.
Which, I mean, that seems like a lot, but the experience and the amount of food and the freshness of the food and the amount of wine.
It's definitely like, it's a core memory.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah. So that was definitely a highlight. And I didn't even get to do the whole thing.
They also have ostriches there.
Yeah, I don't like ostriches. They scare me.
And then we did an escape room when we were there. Not at the tasting, but while we were in that part of Puglia.
Yeah, which is unlike anything else we've done.
We'd like to always have something. I mean, Dylan likes to go to the beach, but especially now he's almost 18 and he's exclusively fine going to the beach. But when he was younger, we'd like to also provide activities that he enjoyed, like, escape rooms, bounce places. So we went to this escape room and it was in a mobile home
trailer. It was like a hitched trailer, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, because he could take it. It was fun. It was really smart.
Yeah. Aaron said that it's for Dylan, but we all like doing different stuff and breaking up the day.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
So, but yeah, no, that was fun.
That was fun.
Okay, so then Bari, should we save Bari for our next trip?
Yeah, we'll save Bari. I will just say that Bari has great food and it's a cool, bigger town in Puglia. So it's a definitely must go, but I don't have enough to talk about yet. So we'll come back to that next season.
So takeaways from Puglia: have a car,
eat burrata.
If you have a dog, make sure you're protected against leishmania.
Drink a lot of limoncello.
Is limoncello from there?
No, it's from the Amalfi Coast, but limoncello is good everywhere.
Well, that's true. Also drink coffee.
And Puglian wine is good.
Yeah. No, it's very good. And just enjoy the beach because it's so incredibly beautiful and relaxing. And
I would say Puglia is it's a slow vacation destination.
Yeah. Well, and in a weird way, I kind of think of it as the most Italian authentic place because it is like where families go and just like chill on the beach.
Yeah.
All right. I think did we miss anything in takeaways?
No, I think that's it.
All right. Go to Puglia. That's what we're saying. All right. Well, thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
Check out the website at www.thegetawayswithaz.com. I'll make sure to list all the restaurants, where we stayed, and all the experiences that we did.
And we'll see you next time. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.